Back in Syracuse as the Crunch gets set for Game 2 of the North Division semifinals. It's the Crunch of the Americans. Syracuse winning Game 1 last night here in Syracuse by a 6-2 score. On Countdown to Crunch Time, I'm Lukas Favale, joined by Crunch head coach Ben Groulx, presented by Supercuts. Ben, last night the playoffs got underway, and the Crunch had, as we said, that 6-2 win over Rochester. What did you see in Game 1 last night?
Well, what I like about the game last night, it's our game got better as the game went along. Like, I thought we had a decent start, but I thought our second period was good and our third period was very good. So that's my takeaway from the game last night. We're skating well, moving the puck well, did a lot of good things against a good Rochester team. So it's for us today to get better and play basically the same way as we did yesterday.
And obviously one of the big performers of the game last night was Gabriel Dumont, who was a game-time decision, had missed the last couple games of the regular season. Yeah. He was in, and he had a hat trick and a 4-point game. How important was it to get him in the lineup? Obviously he was a big player, but how important was he?
Yeah, just to have him in the lineup was huge for us because he's got a big presence for us, obviously. He's been around. He knows how to be ready for those moments. And you know what? Having him scoring 3 goals last night was unexpected, but more than welcome. And he's been great since he got sent down by Ottawa. And so now he's an important player for us, and we need our best player to be at their best.
And we talked about it yesterday, a lot of young guys making their pro playoff debuts, and to have a guy like Gabriel Dumont in there who's been here, he was here last year, and just a great example. I mean, the way he plays on the ice is a great example. To see him playing, not only scoring 3 goals and having that assist, but in all facets of the game, great to have him in there.
Yeah, 3-zone player, second effort hockey player, so it's good to have that. But when I look around, like last night, I thought Jamie McBain was a very good player for us. Eric Condra was good too. So those 3 guys, those 3 veterans that we have here, they led by example last night, and they were a big-time game changer for us last night.
It's the Crunch and the Ambergs here for game number 2 of the North Division semifinals, and a guy who we kind of really haven't talked a whole lot about, but was a kind of a key player last night, scored the 4th goal of the game. That was Brendan Bradley, who was brought in at the end of the regular season, final 2 games on a PTO, and you like to use the analogy of the opportunity and the train at the station, and the playoff train for the Crunch was off and running, and he hopped on board, and here he is with a goal in game number 1. What did you see in the final 2 games of the regular season from that gave him the opportunity not only to make the playoff roster, but get in game 1?
A lot of speed, and a guy that is aware on the ice. Like I think it's so important when you come from the East Coast League. You got to be your conditioning's got to be good enough to play and to skate in this league. Then it's about the pace and it's about awareness, and I think he's got both. And for the minutes we use him, he was a very good player for us.
And there was a line of him and Daniel Walcott and Troy Burke who did a lot of good things, and we know Daniel Walcott has been such an important player, and he seemed like he was involved in everything, getting the team a little bit of a spark early on, and then that third period he drew a couple of penalties, was great on the penalty kill, set up that goal. What about that line and Daniel Walcott?
Momentum. They brought us a lot of momentum last night, the way they skated, the way they forecheck, their second effort. So no, they were a key line for our win last night.
Crunch winning last night, game 1 of the North Division semifinals, 6-2, and it's something we also have talked about is, in the playoffs you can't get too high with a win and too low with a loss. 6-2 win, it looks like a lopsided score, but we know it was a much closer game, so how do you get that message to it's just one game and we got to be prepared for tonight?
Yeah, very good game last night. Two teams that were ready to play. The game is 3-2, they hit the post, could have been 3-3. So it was a tight checking game. We got opportunistic at the right moment, and for us tonight, we have to be better. We can't be satisfied with our win. We know that the team who's gonna improve the most tonight will be the winning team at the end, and it's for us to be that team tonight.
It was a very physical game as well, and in the regular season, Crunch and the Amherst, I mean, we didn't see a ton of that type of stuff in the regular season, but at least in this season series between the two, but that's kind of playoff hockey, I guess, and we saw lots of it, and is that something we can expect moving forward?
Well, we never know. Like, I think it's on the ice. The players decide that, but like you mentioned, it's playoff hockey. and there's always a little bit that physical aspect that you see that you're not used to. So, but I think both teams were prepared, and both teams reacted pretty well to that.
Crunch and the Amherst getting set for Game 2 of the North Division semifinals. You said that Crunch were getting better as the game went along yesterday, but what are some of the things you'd like to improve upon here tonight as you look for a Game 2 win?
Puck management in neutral zone. I think we made tough decision at some point in neutral zone, playing east-west instead of going north-south. I think our regroup, we can make better decision with the puck, but overall very pleased with the game. But I think our puck management, even in the O zone, sometimes we got to simplify things, make sure we keep things simple, and we stay with our plan. So but overall, you got to be happy with this first one, and hopefully we improve in those areas that we can.
All right, looking forward to tonight as the Crunch take on the Rochester Americans, Game 2 of the North Division semifinals. It's Crunch head coach Ben Groulx, presented by Supercuts. Ben, thanks for your time and good luck tonight.
Thank you.